Hello, good morning, all the students. This is Sunita Gurav from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar English Medium School. I think that we have completed total 3 lectures altogether, and all the sorry, 2 lectures we have completed, students, and we have completed all the 2 lectures. They were of the grammar. Okay, at first we saw conjunctions and interjections; those were the parts of the speech. In the next lecture, or in the second lecture, we had seen regarding the transitive and intransitive verbs, and this is my third lecture with you. I'm finding it very happy to give you lecture. So even you can make out from my face also, very fresh, and I'm finding it very helpful to you to give you lecture. So let us start with our lecture. Today also our lecture is going to be on grammar section only. Do you know why grammar is a very wooden topic? It is so called in English. But when we are taking interest in it, children, at that time we are not finding it difficult anymore. Okay, so I did not find grammar difficult in my school times. Why is it so? Because I was taking the keen interest in it, and even I got my teachers like that. You know, my teachers were very genius. They were very bright. You know, they used to explain me each and every query whenever I asked them inside the classroom. Okay, so let us start with our lecture. Now I'm doing this screen sharing with you. Okay, okay. So today's lecture is starting with the first. That is, I'm from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Municipal English Medium School. That is in Burli. Our headmistress name is respective Mrs. Sangeeta Srivastav, and our class teacher, that is I'm the class teacher of 7th standard 7C class, and my name is Sunita Gurav. Our today's subject is of course English, as it is to be always. Our unit is grammar, and subunit of today is types of sentences. Now today actually English is a funny language, students. Okay, in English, sometimes it happens now we speak something and the meaning becomes something different. So here, as it is told, types of sentences. Now here we are going to see today's types of sentences. Those are based on structure. Okay. In any language, students, structure of the sentences is most important. Okay. Even if you will go across your textbooks and if you'll observe the sentences very, very keenly, you'll find out 1,000 types of structures inside your textbook. Only the need is that you have to see over there. You have to just take the keen interest in observing the sentences. Then you'll come to know that there are the different types of structures of the sentences that you'll find out inside the uh, textbook. Even in your textbook also. Okay, your teachers, when they teach you any lesson, any story, or suppose any, not grammar part, but any story or any poem, at that time they speak in a dramatic language. They speak in a dramatic way. Why is it so? Because that is a language, students, you know, and those sentences, their tone has to be like that because their structure is like that. And that is why teachers speak in a dramatic way. Okay. First of all, we will see types of sentences we are going to see. But first of all, it is very necessary to see what is a sentence. Now, see, students, in any language, suppose in your own mother tongue, okay, your mother tongue may, whether it would be Hindi, whether it would be Malayalam, suppose it would be some Gujarati, Marathi, okay, whatever mother tongue you are having, we are speaking with a group of words, students. We are not speaking separately. In any language, in this world, whichever languages you are having, In those languages, sentence means a group of words that expresses a complete thought or idea. What do you mean by that, students? That sentence, those group of words, should express complete thought or complete idea. It is not like that ki you are telling anything, any incomplete sentence, and you are telling ki I have told sentence. No. Okay, group of words are very, 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 very necessary. I would tell you one thing. Suppose in your mother tongue, in Hindi, okay, you want food from your mummy. So you are asking your mummy, okay, mummy मुझे खाना, okay, only this much you are talking. इतना ही कह के आप लोग stop होते हो क्या? नहीं. You have to talk the full sentence. Mummy, please give me food. Mummy, मुझे खाना दो. Okay, you have to speak in this way. Then only your sentence gets complete. So those are the group of words, students. And group of words are very, very necessary in any sentence. Then only it becomes a complete thought or idea. A separate word cannot form any sentence. Any separate word, if you are using, it cannot form a sentence. Okay? Now, a sentence has two parts, subject and predicate. Now, composed of at least one independent clause. Okay, there should be one independent clause inside the sentence. Independent clause means predicate. There has to be predicate inside the sentence. Subject, verb, and object. These are the three parts of any sentence, students. These are the compulsory parts of any sentence. Subject, verb, and object. Without this, a sentence cannot get finished. Without them, sentence cannot get complete. And that is why independent clause means predicate. You have to use predicate inside the sentence. Then only that is called as a sentence. Now see subject and predicate, basic elements of them. Subject. Now there is the sentence, students. They have given you an example over here. Arif play tennis. Okay. See the sentence, students. This is a simple sentence. In front of you, you people are speaking it in your everyday life. Arif play tennis. Now here, subject is Arif. Subject is Arif. And predicate is play tennis. Arif is playing tennis. So play is a verb and tennis is the object. Togetherly, they are called as predicate. Play is a verb, tennis is an object. Play tennis, togetherly, they are called as a predicate. Okay? And subject means the person who is actually acting. The person who is actually acting. Okay? The worker, the doer inside a sentence. The doer inside a sentence. Now, for your reference, I've given here something. Which of these is a sentence? Now, there are total altogether 10. We'll have to first of all see from these which are the sentences. The dog ran. Okay, the first sentence, the dog ran. Now here, this is a sentence, students, because it is completely telling you, and this is a complete. Who ran? Dog ran. What did the dog do? It is running. Okay, now second one, the dog. Now here we are not getting any idea about it. The dog is only written. But what about the dog? Are we getting anything over there? No, we are not getting any idea about the dog. Whether it is running, whether it is drinking, whether it is playing. No. So that is why the dog, second one, is not a sentence. That is only and only the group of words. Okay. or only the word? Third, ran down the road. Ran down the road. Okay, see the sentence. This is the order given to somebody. Okay, now this is also a sentence, students, as here they have told us. Okay, but here there is no subject in the sentence. So we can say that it can be a incomplete sentence. This is the incomplete sentence. Ran down the road. This is incomplete sentence because who is running down the road? Do we know that? No. Have they told us who is the subject inside the sentence? No. That is why that is incomplete. Fourth one. Fourth sentence. Last week, the dog. Now here, in the fourth sentence, time is given and do is given. Inside the sentence, the subject is given. The doer is given. But what about the verb? What last week? What about the dog? Have they told us anything? No. So that is not a sentence. Fifth, sit. Now here also this is the command. This is the order given to somebody. But to whom? But to whom the order is given? Have they told us anything about it? No. So here nothing will come. Means this is not a sentence. Or it can be said that it is incomplete sentence. Of course, sit means they have told us to sit. But that can be called as the incomplete. Sixth one. What is the time? Sixth sentence. What is the time? Now here, this is a complete sentence. Because here this is a question. Also there is a verb inside a sentence. And also they have asked us regarding time. So this is a complete sentence and it is a question. Seventh one. Mr. Jones read fire engine. Mr. Jones read fire engine. Now here, Mr. Jones, this is a subject. The doer inside a sentence. Read fire engine, this is the object. Where is the verb inside the sentence? What Mr. Jones is doing with red fire engine? What Mr. Jones is doing with red fire engine? Have they told us something about it? No, they haven't given us any idea about it. So, seventh sentence that is incomplete. Eighth one, eighth sentence. Anyone who has a heart. Now here they are denoting us anyone means that is a doer inside a sentence or subject who has a heart. Okay, who has a heart that can be taken together as an this one object. But where is the this one? It is told to. It is spoken to somebody. This is a sentence which is spoken to somebody. But this is incomplete, students. Anyone who has a heart, what to do with that? What actually has to do that person? Okay, I am asking to this sentence what that person has to do actually. We don't know, na? We haven't got any idea. So it can be called as the incomplete because there is some another sentence joining to it, but it is not given over here. Ninth one, the answer, my friend. Now this is also incomplete, students, because my friend is the subject over here. The answer is the object over here. What about is verb? It is not given over here. And 10, I hope you had the time of your life. This is a total complete sentence because here they have told us, they have given us the complete idea about to whom the sentence is talked, about what the sentence is. Okay, about whom the sentence is and about what the sentence is. So we are getting the complete idea over here. So now we have seen which of these are the sentences. Now we will move further. Today's our types of sentences are according to the structure. Okay, we are not going to see that those sentences, see what they are denoting, what are their actual meaning. We are not going to see that. We are going to see the structures only, students. As I told you, in English there are different types of sentences. Okay, there are two types mainly. Those are according to structure and according to their this one function. According to structure are coming simple, compound, and complex. And according to function comes declarative, then exclamatory, imperative. Okay, so such sentences are coming in that, but we are not going to see that. We are going to see the main three types, as these types are there inside your textbook also, of your 7th standard textbook. You can later on do this work, you can later on do this homework of finding out different kinds of sentences, as I will explain you now. Types of sentences. Sentences are classified by the number and types of clauses. See how the sentences are classified. What is the criteria? The criteria is how many clauses are there. Clauses means sub sentences. Small sentences are altogetherly taken. Small sentences are altogetherly taken and they are joined together. Clauses means the sub sentences. Small sentences are taken together and they are joined by some another word. Those are called, those by that the sentences are classified, students, in English. Now, types of sentences. There are total 4 types of sentences. Means 3 are the main types. Fourth one is, we can tell it as a subtype. First one, simple sentence. Second one is compound sentence. Third one is a complex sentence. Fourth one is a compound complex sentence. Now, first 3 sentences are very important sentences, as we have to use them in our daily life also. Whenever we speak, whenever we write any sentence of English, we are using these sentences, students. And that is why those are important sentence types. And fourth one, compound complex. These we can tell as a subtype of second and third. Okay, second and third type sentences also we see compound complex. These sentences are mainly big sentences. These are bigger sentences inside the textbook. First type, simple sentence. Okay, simple sentence. Simple sentence, also called an independent clause, contains a subject and verb and it expresses a complete thought. Okay, any simple sentence explains a complete thought. Okay, you can take any simple sentence. For example, Arif plays football. Here there are some examples that I would like to tell you. Some students like to study in the morning. Juan and Arturo play football every afternoon. Alicia goes to the library and studies every day. Now here third sentence that we cannot take. Here I think they have given you something, means the third sentence, it may not come under the simple, because simple means that is only one clause, that is only one sentence. Okay, there are not a group of sentences, students. Only one sentence come in it. Just say there is a first sentence. Some students like to study in the morning. Okay, Mohan goes to the office every day. Students go to the school every day. I eat mango. Okay, these are some simple sentences I would like to tell you. Now, simple sentence, it is having one independent clause. For example, I watched the Super Bowl. See this. I watched the Super Bowl. This is a sentence. This can be a simple sentence in which there is no any other clause. There is no second sentence. There is only one sentence and it gives us a complete idea. Okay. Simple sentences therefore contain a subject and a verb and express a complete thought, but they can also contain compound subjects or verbs. Sometimes it happens. For example, in these sentences, see here, Juan and Arturo play football every afternoon. Now here two people are there who are playing football and they are joined by the word and. So it cannot be said that ki this is a compound sentence. This is also simple, but because it is giving us the complete idea, because there is only one verb inside a sentence. See here, in these sentences, there is only one verb. Sometimes a sentence can contain two verbs altogether, but it is related with it. For example, Alicia goes to the library and studies every day. Alicia goes to the library. Okay? See, students, Alicia goes to the library. This is a complete sentence. It is giving us full idea about what Alicia is doing. She is going to the library. But what is she doing over there? It is giving us additional information. Sometimes it happens. Okay. It is a language, students. As I told you, it is not a thing. Even in your own mother tongue, sometimes our tongue slips and we give some another information. We give some additional information to other people. Whenever you talk in Hindi, whenever you talk in Marathi, this is a language. Okay. Sometimes our tongue also gets slipped and we speak much more than the necessary thing. Alicia goes to the library. Who is going to the library? Alicia. What is she doing there? She is studying over there. The additional sentence is giving us information. And that is why this can come under simple. So I hope that you people have understood the simple sentences. Now inside your, if I would take the reference from your textbook, I would tell you that inside your textbook there are different lessons. This one, Vivekanand, that Polaji is also there. Also, there is a Chasing the Sea Monster. That lesson is there. Inside these lessons, you will find out a lot of simple sentences. Okay, but I would tell you that at first this Chasing the Sea Monster, this lesson is there. Na? In that lesson, you will not find many more simple sentences. There you will find out bigger sentences, and that I would tell you in which category they are coming. First, we will see the simple sentence. And as we have seen the simple sentence, you can find out them. This one, railway carriage. That poem is there inside that also you will find out simple sentences. Because it is only a simple. I ate mango. I went to the gym. I slept tonight. Sorry, I will sleep tonight. I went to the library yesterday. These are the simple sentences. Okay. Compound sentence. Second type of a word is a compound sentence. As last to last lecture you had seen conjunction and interjection, students. In conjunction I had told you that those are the joining words. Conjunctions are the joining words. They join two sentences together, two words together. So here they are functioning very well. See here, a compound sentence contains two independent clauses joined by a coordinator. Now, coordinator means conjunction, students. Two independent clauses means two sub-sentences are joined together. Okay, any sentence which is having two sentences together, any sentence which is having two sentences together, okay, those two sentences are joined by the conjunctive words that can come under compound. For example, I tried to speak Spanish. This is a complete sentence. This is a simple sentence. Okay, this is a statement. For simple, statement is also told. Okay, simple sentence is also called as statement. I tried to speak Spanish. This is a complete sentence. But here there is another sentence. See that. My friend tried to speak English. Now these two sentences are joined together with the word and. And is written by some another color. Okay. It is not dark. Second, Alejandro played football, so Maria went shopping. Now here see, so word that is joining two sentences together. Alejandro played football. This is a complete sentence. This is a simple sentence. Another simple sentence, Maria went shopping. This is another complete and simple sentence. But these two sentences are joined together with the word so. Third, Alejandro played football because Maria went shopping. Second sentence only, but there is some change, that is because. This word is used and the sentences are joined together. Now here students, as I will tell you, Alejandro played football because Maria went shopping, because this word is a conjunctive word. Now here they have given the coordinator for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. These all words are there. Okay. These words are joining the two sentences together. Now compound sentence, what exactly it is? Two independent clauses means two sub-sentences. Two sentences. Two sub-sentences joined by either a comma. See here, there was a comma. See second sentence, first sentence, third sentence. There was a comma and a coordinating conjunction or a semicolon. Now you people are knowing the punctuation. So semicolon you people must be knowing what it is. Conjunction. In these sentences the conjunctive words are and in the first, in the second so, in the third because. Now for example they have given I watched the Super Bowl and I ate chips. See the two sentences. I watched the Super Bowl. This is a complete simple sentence. I ate chips. This is a complete simple sentence. These two sentences are joined together with the word and is a conjunctive word. Now second example, I watched the Super Bowl. However, I forgot the chips. See the sentence. There is a semicolon inside the sentence. I watched the Super Bowl. At the end of that sentence, see there is a semicolon. Okay? That punctuation mark is done. That is called semicolon. However, I forgot the chips. Okay? However, this is the reason to denote the reason that word is written there. So, however, this is a conjunctive word and with that the two sentences are joined together. Now, which are the coordinating conjunctions? They have given you the short form students. Okay, as you are using the short forms, SMS, okay, SMS, news, these are the short form students. Same way, here there is a short form. Fanboys. This word you keep it in mind. Fanboys. Join two independent clauses with a comma or to form compound sentences. See there. Fanboys means that is a short form of for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Okay? These are the words which are joining the two independent clauses or two sentences. Independent clauses means two simple and complete sentences. Independent means complete sentence. Okay? Independent means complete sentence. That sentence must be complete, having subject, verb, and object togetherly. Then it is called as a independent. Otherwise, it is not independent. That will be dependent. If the sentence is not giving us complete idea or it is not containing anything, then it is called as dependent. Okay? Now here there are some more examples. The man missed work, for he woke up late. Now here for. it is written in red color to denote the conjunctive word. Miguelito likes oranges and he likes apples. Now here and. This is a conjunctive word. We don't like spinach, nor do we like squash. Now nor. Okay, nor. This word is a conjunctive word. The children went to the park, but they came back because of the rain. Now here but. This is the main conjunctive word that is joining two sentences. You may have tea or you can have coffee. Now here or conjunctive word. Tanya missed her bus, yet she was on time for work. Now yet, this is a conjunctive word. 7. My car won't run, so I can't drive you to work. So is a conjunctive word. If you will take the first letter of all these conjunctive words, it will become fanboys, as it is told over here. Okay, so the sentences relating with these words are given over here. Third type, complex sentence. Okay, third type, complex sentence. As you will go in now, you are in 7, you will go in 8, you will go in 9. So as your standard will be increasing, you will find more and more complex sentences inside your textbooks. You are not going to find maximally simple sentences. Simple sentences you can find in the textbooks of first, second, third, fourth. Maximally simple sentences are used. Okay. And as you will go in the higher, you will find the complex sentences. Now, what is a complex sentence? A complex sentence has an independent clause joined by one or more dependent clauses. One or more dependent clauses, one and more incomplete sentences. Okay? See, one and more incomplete sentences are joined together. Subordinator, because, since, after, although, or when. These words are coming in those sentences, students. Second one, relative pronoun, such as that, who, or which. Relative pronoun means the sentence, these words are relating one sentence with the other. Then only it becomes complex sentence. Okay? Sometimes inside your textbook, students, you will find out a sentence which is not completing even after 3 to 4 lines. Some sentences are of 5 lines also. So why are they of 5 lines? Because there are some small incomplete sentences are there. You have to observe keenly over there. When you will observe your textbook, you will find it out. Okay, small sub sentences are there, and those sub sentences are joined together. That those are joined together by these words also. Sometimes they are joined by the comma also. Not necessary that these words must come. Sometimes the sentences can also be joined by the comma, and those sub sentences are togetherly written, and at last, after 4 to 5 lines, full stop is given. As the sentence starts, full stop is given after 4 to 5 lines. So such sentence is called as a complex sentence because it is difficult to understand that sentence. Sometimes we have to read the sentence again and again, and then we have to take the meaning of it. Okay? A new reader of complex sentence sometimes finds it difficult to mean that sentence, to get the meaning of the sentence. But the student of English language will not find it at all difficult because that student has learned those sentences very well. So the student who is having the habit of and who is having the liking of reading so many sentences, that student will find it very easy to mean any sentence in the in any textbook. Even if you love the 10th standard also, not necessarily 7th standard. You can go to the 10th, you can go to the 11th, you can go to the 12th standard also. There is an English subject to those standards. But there you will find more and more bigger sentences. And those bigger sentences fall under complex sentences. Now, complex sentence, there is one independent clause, means one complete sentence is there. Starting sentence is complete. Okay. And at least one subordinate clause. Now here at least one is there must be one incomplete sentence to it. It is not a thing that only one sentence is given and you are telling that it is complex. No. There must be one incomplete sentence inside it. Then only it becomes complex. One complete and one incomplete. One complete and one incomplete. These two sentences togetherly form complex sentence. Now, what is a complex sentence? Once again, complex sentences are composed of one independent, one complete, and two or more dependent clauses, that is incomplete sentences. The clauses are joined by subordinating conjunctions. See this subordinating conjunctions. They are not coordinating, they are subordinating. Why coordinating not? Because coordinating means they are coordinating the two sentences as in the case of conjunction. See here in conjunction, these are words which are coordinating in two sentences. They are giving meaning, they are joining the two sentences. There is no other function to them. They only are joining two complete sentences. That is why they are coordinated. Okay. And here subordinating means these are subordinating. There is another complete sentence. Okay. That another complete sentence is getting meaning because of them. That is why they are subordinating. Another incomplete sentence, that is two or more dependent clauses they have written now. Those two or more dependent clauses get meaning because of this. Because, that, when, who, where, therefore, although, even though, and since. These words are giving meaning. That is why they are subordinating. Now, for example, the woman who called my mom sells cosmetics. See here, who? This is a relative. This one, subordinating conjunction. Okay? Subordinating conjunction, who? Who is calling my mom? Who is calling my mom? The woman. Okay? And these two words, the woman, this is the incomplete sentence. Call my mom sells cosmetics, this is another sentence. But they are joined by the word who. Who is a relative. The book that Jonathan read is on the shelf. Now here the book. This is only the word. The book, this is only the group of words. Jonathan read is on the shelf. This is another complete sentence. Jonathan read is on the shelf. Okay. This is another sentence. Now these two incomplete sentence, the book, this is incomplete sentence. Jonathan read is on the shelf. This is another sentence. These two are joined by the word that. Third, the house which Abraham Lincoln was born is still standing. Now here which is a relative conjunction because that is joining two sentences. The house is only a group of words. That is not a complete sentence. Abraham Lincoln was born in is still standing. Abraham Lincoln was born in. This is another sentence. It's still standing is a third sentence. See here, the house, this is the incomplete sentence. Abraham Lincoln was born in, this is the second sentence, is still standing is the third sentence. Okay. These are all together joined by the relative conjunction which. The town where I grew up is in the United States. Okay. Now here where. This is a relative conjunction because it is telling us about the place and it is relating two sentences together. Otherwise, there was no meaning. Instead of this word where, this sentence would have no meaning. For example, the town I grew up is in the United States. Here, where, this is giving more meaning to the sentence. Okay. Other few examples of complex sentences. I was late because I missed my bus. See here the word because. It is joining two sentences. I didn't eat supper since I ate such a large lunch. Here, there is one independent clause and one dependent clause. That is one one complete sentence and another one is a incomplete sentence. I ate such a large lunch. This is the reason. I ate such a large lunch. This is the reason. Okay. That is the cause. I didn't eat supper. This is the effect. So there is a cause and effect relationship in this sentence. We should dress warmly as it's very cold outside. We should dress warmly as it's very cold outside. Now here also cause and effect relationship is there. For denoting cause, reason as word is used here. John failed his exam although he studied hard. Again cause and effect relationship. Even if John studied hard, he failed in his exam. That these two complete sentences are joined by the word although, or we can say he studied hard. This is the incomplete sentence because who studied hard? For what did he study hard? We are not getting any idea only by that sentence. Only if we are reading he studied hard, we are not getting any idea. We have to read all that sentence together. Then only we will get idea. Fifth, I didn't get the job, though I did well on the job interview. I didn't get the job, though even if I worked hard, even if I did well on the job interview, I didn't get the job. Here also there is a even if I worked hard, I did not get the job. That the sentence is telling us. Sixth one, Johnny like apples while Lizzie like oranges. Two people with different likings. They are shown all together by the word while. 7. I have been to Mexico several times, whereas I have never been to Brazil. For telling where I went and where I did not go. Where I went and where I did not go. For telling that the sentence is joined by the word whereas. Now note, usually the independent clause precedes the dependent clause. Precedes means coming after. And a comma is not needed. Sometimes it happens, independent clause precedes the dependent clause, means first complete sentence is given and another incomplete sentence is there. First complete sentence is there, another is the incomplete sentence. And comma is also not needed inside that. For example, see here, sentence number 4. John failed his exam, although he studied hard. John failed his exam. This is the independent clause. This is a complete sentence. He studied hard. Okay, he studied hard. This is the dependent clause, incomplete sentence. John failed his exam, complete sentence. He studied hard, incomplete sentence. First, complete sentence comes. Secondly, incomplete sentence comes. Okay? First, independent clause comes. Secondly, dependent clause comes. Now, fourth and the last type that we are going to see over here, compound complex sentences. Now, there is nothing to tell about it, because if you have understood compound sentences and complex sentences, then this is a much easy part for you people to understand. I will only read. A compound complex sentence is made up of two independent clauses and one or more dependent clauses. Put a comma after the dependent clause if it begins the sentences. Put a comma before the and, but, or that connect the two independent clauses. Now we will see some sentences over here so that you will have the idea. Now these sentences you are finding in the higher classes textbooks. If we'll go now in the 8th standard, we will go in the 9th standard, 10th standard, you will find out these sentences, because sentence is not finishing even after 3-4 lines. See here, first sentence. My brother wants to study piano. See, this is the independent clause. Complete sentence. This is a complete sentence. My brother wants to study piano, but I want to study magic because I think it's fun. Okay? My brother wants to study piano, but I want to study magic because I think it's piano. Sorry, because I think it's fun. This is the complete complex sentence. This is the total complex sentence. Here there are two words. Those are joining the three different sentences. But because my brother wants to study piano, one sentence. I want to study magic, another sentence. I think it's fun, third sentence. These three sentences are joined together. So it has become compound complex because there are two words. But is a conjunctive word. That is why that is a compound sentence. Because of that, the word because of the word because, this is a complex sentence. Now second sentence, see, while he was waiting for his friend, he saw Nisha and they talked. While he was waiting for his friend, while he was waiting for his friend, now here, if we will eliminate the word while, remove the word while, see the sentence becomes, he was waiting for his friend. So this is a complete sentence. He was waiting for his friend, complete sentence. He was waiting for his friend, complete sentence. He saw Nisha, complete sentence. He saw Nisha, complete sentence. They talked. They talked, incomplete sentence. They talked, incomplete sentence. He saw Nisha, this can also come under incomplete. Okay, because here there is no, may be helpful to remember them in this way. Type of sentences, see, simple, compound, complex, independent clauses. One, in the simple, subordinate, none. Means in simple, there is only one sentence. In the compound, there are two or more sentences. In complex, there are of course more sentences. In complex, we cannot tell only one sentence. In complex, of course, there are two or more sentences. Then only it becomes complex. And at last, compound complex, of course, there are two or many more sentences together. As I told you, the bigger sentences, they are not ending even after 4 to 5 lines. Okay, and difficult to understand, difficult to comprehend them. Such are compound complex sentences. So now what is your homework, students? You have to find out different types of sentences as you have studied now. Simple, compound, complex inside your textbook. See your textbook very keenly. Find out different types of sentences and write down with the pencil their type in the textbook. Okay, students. So have a good day. It was a very nice session with you. I'm finding it very happy to give you the lecture. Okay, students, goodbye.